Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Melina is going to do a vlog again, alright? So she's changing the pace a bit here. Her dress is so short, so she's going to have to not do as many things as she likes. She can't even move around, really. Sorry, guys, I love moving around and dancing and jumping up and down and doing all kinds of stuff. But tonight is all about the vlogging, alright? So the vlogs, alright? So totally enjoy the show. Melina's vlogs are incredible anyway. So even though she's not performing per se, she is performing, but she's not doing major performances. She is about vlogging today, and vlogging is really fun, right? So we all love vlogs. So this vlog is going to be how you can become your best self, alright? So now some people are already their best selves and they don't even know it, right? So maybe you're fit, you're taking good care of yourself, you have potential to do whatever you want, but you don't feel it on the inside. So instead of being, instead of saying to yourself, after seeing this video, I want you to think to yourself, you know what? I do all this stuff. I work very, very hard. I really feel that I'm good, but for some reason, I've always had people say that I'm not, but I really feel I am. And and sometimes people will do that. You know what? Like, you might be the best person on earth, and people will make fun of you or say whatever, right? So, don't let people's criticisms of you make you feel like you're nobody, right? Some people take their whole lives to learn that, and then they have regrets. And other people, well, they they learn it and they hone their talents and they hone their abilities, and they're like, yes, I am really talented. I didn't realize this until now, right? So really, I want you to look inside yourself and say, how talented am I? How good am I at this? Or even if you're not good at anything, how good are you at not being good at anything? Because some people that aren't good at anything become comedians or are able to have a really good partner or have a good job. Maybe you could find a job where you might not feel you're good at anything, but you decide you want to pursue something that you're mediocre at, but it pays well, right? Or no, I'm just grasping at straws here, but I mean for that part, I don't know what people are capable of, but maybe you don't, you aren't, you feel you're not good at anything. People keep telling you that, but there's something you haven't realized you are good at, and then you haven't realized until now, and you're just like, oh, I didn't know I was good at this. Like, trying new things, that helps, right? So instead of being upset or feeling like, oh, I'm not good or whatever, look at your talents. See what your talents are, right? 'Cause some people really don't know what they're talented at. They really have no idea. And, you have to really think, well, I must be talented at something. Everyone has their talents. Everyone's good at something, right? You would think so. So instead of being like, oh no, I'm not sure what I'm good at. I don't know if I can do this. Really try to be confident. Now for me, I'm the type of person, I don't drink alcohol, right? So I'm the type of person that doesn't need liquid confidence. And people around you are always like, don't you need liquid confidence, or don't you need this to go up on the dance floor? Don't you need to? I don't. I really, really don't. So for me, it just comes naturally that I'm confident and very, very out there in terms of my ability to perform. But it's because I'm just very, I just never believed that confidence should come from alcohol. Now, some people enjoy alcohol, it tastes good to some people. I don't drink any, but some people like it because it tastes good. Some people like it because it gives them confidence. Some people like it because it breaks the ice or makes them less shy. But for me, I don't need that. I really, really don't. So if you are somebody that's always like, well, my friends just always tell me to drink and I don't want to, then you can stop because I don't. But I mean, alcohol per se isn't bad. If you're not abusing it, you're fine. And some people that abuse it may not be abusing it that much. So but I mean, I'm very easygoing too, right? So I'm non-judgmental. I believe everyone has a spark. Everyone has some kind of talent. Everyone's capable of doing things, right? But yeah, so some people might tell you, oh, you don't have a vice. How come you don't have a vice, right? Or and I've always heard that so many times, and I was like, well, I don't have a vice. I'm not. And I think they were just saying it for conversation. I don't think they meant anything bad about it. But some people really just have a hard time with doing life without any kind of addictions. So, if you have friends that are always encouraging you to be confident on your own, that's great, right? And some people really, really might be like, well, I'd like to not drink, I'd like to do these things, but who doesn't? There's nobody in the world that's like that. There are people like that, right? That don't drink, that don't do drugs, that don't smoke. I don't do any of those things. So for me, it seems rare, but I know there's people out there that don't. It's some people that I know don't, but you might be like, well, I like these things because people that I know do these things, and I don't know anyone that doesn't do these things. So, you can't let that make you do those things if you really didn't want to. If you really don't want to smoke or you really don't want to do drugs or drink, you should really feel there's someone out there that's like that, right? Because if there's someone like you, there's got to be someone else in the world exactly like that, right? So don't focus on, no one else is like that, so I'm going to drink a lot. If you don't want to drink and you really feel you don't like it, and you're like, well, I don't want to, but and if you really feel everyone's doing it, trust me, there are people that don't, and it's harder to find those people, yes, but I don't, and I'm like the best of the best in my opinion anyway. But I think to a lot of people too. But like and I'm not saying drinking is wrong or smoking or drugs or anything like that. If you like it and you enjoy it and it's not inhibiting you in any way, and you never felt pressure because you liked it anyway, then by all means go ahead. I'm not trying to tell you to not do those things because you want to be like me. Some people can be very healthy for their whole lives and do all those things, right? I'm just saying that if you're someone that doesn't like those things and you're just like, well, I'm only doing them because I don't know if anybody in the world is like that. Trust me, there are people. I'm like that. And you wouldn't think I am. You'd probably think, you must party. I do party, but I don't drink and I don't do drugs and I don't smoke and I don't even drink coffee. So I'm like that. So if I'm like that and I'm one person that's super talented and good, there's other people like that, right? So don't feel like, oh, there's nobody in the world that does this, there's nobody in the world that's like that. No, there is. There really is, right? So in order to feel good, you can say, well, you know what, maybe it's hard to find someone like that, and maybe Marco and Melina live in a different city, or they're hard to reach because they're busy, and maybe they're not, maybe we wouldn't click as friends, or maybe they're busy because they're so busy they don't have time, or they just have their set friends so they don't really branch out. So, but there are people like that, right? I'm very busy, so unless a person is really easy to be hanging around with, and then my type of person, then I'm not going to hang around with them, right? But and not to say that I just don't. I prefer my alone time too. I really like it because you can do what you want and you're not judged or anything by your own self. So you can continue doing that and you're not worried about what the outcome is or anything like that. But anyway, so if you are thinking that no one else is like that or like you, think again. If you're like that, there's other people like that. All right, click that subscribe button. Thank you all.